I just discovered a new emotion. You've heard of bottling your emotions, but have you heard of brooding? Look, to be fair, I didn't invent it, okay? I just kind of noticed it within me, and then I found the name for it. So I thought I would share, because emotional intelligence is in for 2025, plus it's hot, plus given the current state of the world, there's not much that we can do, but what we can do is control what's going on up here, okay? Bottling is pretty straightforward, right? Something upsets you and then you're like, nope, not dealing with this right now. So you ignore it, pretend it never happened, and then you just casually become a ticking time bomb of unprocessed emotion and childhood trauma. Super effective until eventually you lose your mind over the dumbest little things. But brooding, now that's for the overthinkers. That's for the real intellectuals of self-sabotage. Brooding is when you're so consumed by a negative emotion that you can't do anything except think about it. You turn one random situation into a full-blown psychological case study, analyzing every single detail as if it's a crime scene, and you're like the lead detective that refuses to let it go. Your life kind of becomes like a really bad Netflix true crime documentary, just none of the suspense, just existential dread. And look, I've been both, and the reality is that both of these strategies suck. But the good news is that there's a third, more mysterious option. No, there's a middle ground, and that middle ground is actually processing your emotions. What a concept, I know. Because you know that feeling of carrying a really heavy backpack? Imagine that backpack is just stuffed with all the emotions you have ever felt from the second you were born. Instead of taking a look in that backpack and seeing what you can keep and what you can throw out, you just either stuff more things in there or you try to compartmentalize every single thing so that you can have everything with you at all times. But at some point, babe, it's just not gonna fit in there. Both of these options, though, you're just kind of hoping that it's gonna figure itself out on its own. But spoiler alert, it won't. Not only it won't, but all that weight is gonna keep growing and growing and growing to the point in which you're not gonna remember anymore what it's like to walk without that weight on your shoulders. But processing your emotions, it's like a game changer. So now naturally, follow-up question, how do I actually process my emotions, Julia? Glad you asked, okay? Because obvious answer, therapy. Duh. But therapy isn't always an option. So that's where this app called How We Feel comes in. And look, this is not sponsored, okay? This is genuinely a tool that has helped me tremendously. And I feel like me not sharing it kind of feels wrong because the app is completely free. You don't have to pay to download it. You don't have to pay for any extra memberships. And it was developed by actual emotion scientists, which, what a terrifying group of people to be around, by the way. You just make a joke and they're like, yeah, you're exhibiting resentment stemming from an unmet childhood need. But anyways, the app initially started as a research project for a scientific nonprofit that was led by MIT and Harvard professionals. So the science is there. So the app lets you check in, and then you have so many labels with small descriptions to better identify exactly how you're feeling. And over time, it lets you track your own emotional pattern, which gives you as well a better understanding of your own emotional inner world, but also gives you better vocab and a way to express your emotions more precisely, which in turn makes you more emotionally intelligent and consequently hot. One of my favorite features of the app is a fairly new one, and it's called Reflect. It essentially gives you prompts and insights and allows you to process and kind of journal on your emotions right there. You can ask for it to kind of switch your perspective. You can ask for an actionable step. You can ask for it to go a little bit deeper and maybe uncover any other layering emotions. Anyways, it's a great tool. And also, after that, you have the option to share with your friends, which is pretty cool if you ask me, because it allows you to check in on them, for them to check in on you, kind of motivates you to either reach out or also share an emotion that you're feeling instead of just ranting and trauma dumping, which, by the way, not a bad thing. Your friends should be a safe space for you, but not always, because we also have to learn to validate our own emotions and process it on our own. But besides that, there's also a ton of resources. You have articles, meditations, breathing exercises, and again, all backed up by science and actual modern relevant data. So if you're feeling like spiraling at 2 a.m., might as well do it with the right tools. Overall, highly recommend. It has genuinely helped me feel less of a human dumpster fire. And I don't know, it's just nice. If you want to add me, comment your favorite current emoji, and then I'll send you my friend link, and then yeah, we can check in on each other. This community care is super important, especially nowadays. Fuck individualism, for real. But yeah, give it a try, and at the very least, you're gonna have the words for like that weird existential dread that you're feeling because you're not sure if you're just lost in life or like if you've just been staring at your phone for like 8 hours straight. Okay? Go take a sip of water or something.